Anyways, welcome. It is 11 o'clock. That means you be slapping and tapping and sharing this. And welcome to Beaver Network. I'm Pixie Lee, and welcome to Late Night with me. But Angry Pixie's in the house tonight, kind of like last week. Yeah, and we're going to get into it. Right after you've probably all watched the debate, right? Probably all sick of hearing about it, right? I know I am. I'm sick of hearing about all of it. The vileness. Oh, and Rebel News. Now, aren't they a punch pile? What would you call that? Regurgitated Ezra Levant. And you can't say anything against him because then you might be anti. I can be anti whatever I want to be because I'm an anti. Right? You know, if you're an anti, I'm an adopted anti. Sure am. Anyways, welcome to Beaver Network. Where tonight we're glitching with the conservatives. So, you know, if you're a conservative, you might be a liar. What's that? Yeah, Fox. You know, the old, what was his name? Jeffrey Fox. Or, you know, you might be whatever because you might be a dumbass. That was his name, Jeffrey Fox, I think. He's pretty funny. Yeah, he knew all of that. He knew all the good zingers. Especially if his name was Jeffrey. Jeffrey. Jeffrey changed his name when he was 11 to Pierre because he was so jealous of Justin because he was hoping that Pierre would have adopted him instead of his father and his mother that did. So Jeffrey's been so jealous of Justin Trudeau his whole life. They changed his name to Pierre because he couldn't be Justin. It was too close to Jeffrey. Biters don't drink well. No, I don't drink at all. In fact, I'm drinking tonight. I'll tell you. It's called Baron Beaver and it's cream soda. Only conservatives sit around fire fucking drinking, right? Right? Us liberals don't do stuff like that, right? Why would we have fun at all? Because we're just so uptight, right? Fuck, think again, fucker. And yeah, I bite. Right through a picket fence if you want to get fucking technical. But you know, I was looking at myself, a picture of me when I was 16, or I think it was, 16. My teeth didn't look like that then. They were nice and straight and put together and all beautiful after, you know, one bad dentist. That's all it takes. One bad dentist. Yeah, it's good. This one's actually Canadian made. It's, yeah, where is it made? BaronBeaver.com. Made in South Surrey, BC. Ingredients: carbonated water, cane sugar, natural flavor, sodium benzoate, and pure vanilla extract. So, it's a premium craft soda. 0% alcohol. I live in BC now. Yeehaw. In the south corner of downtown Texas. In the southeast corner of British Columbia. Might as well be downtown fucking Houston. Yep. Angry Pixie rounds all the time. Oh, Golden's not too far from where I am. Well, it's a little north of me, but I worked, no liquor stores. I don't do much of the, you know, I like the MJ. So anyways, for all you know, thinking I'm drinking beer, it's Baron Beaver. Alright, but I can't. I hate this filter. I don't like this filter. Baron Beaver. There is Baron Beaver cream soda for TikTok educational purposes and all. Anyways, yeah. So let's get into it. So today's been debate day, and the Orange Potato's been, you know, flapping his gums, and they still haven't got that poor guy back from, you know, El Salvador or Ecuador. And it's kind of ridiculous at the whole debate thing. You know, regurgitating the same shit in fucking English as it did in French. I don't think anybody won that. I think it was a complete fucking underwhelming fucking situation. Couple zingers here and there, but it was underwhelming again. But again, when you keep it all, like, you know, civil, which I guess, you know, is good. There's nothing wrong with being civil. But it's a fucking debate, dude, and you're fucking in a job interview. And like I keep telling people, it ain't a fucking popularity contest, right? This is not a popularity contest. This is a job interview. You can see who can be the best one to fuck off and fuck around with a fucking orange potato. They found the guy alive. Which guy? You mean the guy in Ecuador? Yeah, he's alive. But why aren't they bringing him back? Medicinal cream soda? Oh yeah, you can buy that. Sure can. Oh, that's good. I'm glad they found him alive. But they should bring him home. You know, he's violating a court order. He's willfully defying a court order. Like, anyways, he'll find out when, you know, some of his lawyers start going to jail, and it'll be fun. But it's going to be a fucking rough 4 years, and we need somebody strong, right? So, you know, like I said, the debate for me was kind of underwhelming. I was at work, kind of catching it here, and I got home from work, watched it, and then watched a few lives, listening to everybody go over and regurgitate the same stunned stuff with their, you know, opinions of this and that and that and this. You know what the opinion is? We need somebody that has an economic background, period. And Mr. Poilievre doesn't. Yes, by Ezra Levant, when he was getting attacked. So I'm missing the whole thing. Carney was getting attacked. Who was getting attacked? I missed it. Like I said, I was at work. Mrs. Radical, I barely got to see little bits and pieces of it. But, yeah, I saw that. There, I kept cutting him off. That's all right. That's all right. I'm going to vote tomorrow. And I know several people that have already voted for him. Not for him, but, you know, for our candidate. And that's been a fun run. Putting fires out for that fucking shit show today, too. Woohoo! 2 minutes before I got on here. Old Mr. Stetsky. At it again. Like, so, you know. I'm going tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 18th, I think. But yeah, old Stetsky. At her again. Yeah, tomorrow's the 18th. I'm going tomorrow. Anyways, yeah, Mr. Stetsky. Like I said, that's how Angry Pixie got here. Putting fires out. I can declare my vote. You could go to any elections Canada from now till the 27th. If you don't have polls that are advanced polls. But advanced polls open tomorrow at 9 a.m. And they're open till 9 p.m. for the next 4 days. And then the day of the election, the polls start opening at 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. in whatever town you're in. You should have received your election code. Yeah, pretty fucking stunning, eh? Can you vote here with me? No, that wouldn't count. You gotta go to an election. You gotta go and actually put your vote in. And you should have got an election card. You know, one of these fine things that comes in the mail, if you're a registered voter, if you got one of these, then it tells you where you can go and vote. And if you didn't get one of those, you can take your picture ID to the election and they will register you right there. In fact, you can register online right now. But it's very, very important that everybody gets out and votes. Because if you don't vote, you got no say. And if you don't vote, you're voting for a fucking schmatsy. But if you guys don't realize what the Conservatives have got going on with the IDU and all this other stuff, it's all in the background of it. Harper coming out of his, like, out of the grave, like, you know, Data from Star Trek. You know, with his fucking nice squared head and squared haircut, and they dug him up. See? Glitching again. Glitching, glitch. Every time I say the word conservative, I have to glitch. Ugh. And I'm sober. Ugh. Conservative. Ugh. And that's exactly what you get. Conservative. Ugh. Hello. Anyways, we're at Beaver, you know, if you want to come on up, maybe in about a half an hour, but we're going to go back to what the orange potato's done today. So again, he's willfully denying the Supreme Court ruling to bring Mr. Gonzalez back from Ecuador. And that's what happened to you if you voted for Poilievre, because he's already said that he left to, you know, deport. Glitch. Conservative. Can't even. Every time I say that word, just want to. So that's what I said. You say the word conservative, glitch. That's where we're at with that. Glitch. So again, he's on here talking about the energy and climate, and everybody's yapping with their faces about, you know, Bill 69. But if you actually knew what the bill meant, See the red tape when they were talking about red tape? The red tape is First Nations people because they don't want to have to consult with anybody. But guess what? If you don't consult, you don't get through. Orange County, California has wine and grapes and vineyards. Yeah, we're not talking about the Orange County. We're talking about the orange potato. Who's your prime minister or your president of the United States of... Ugh. But we don't want your wine. We have our own great wine. It's grown in the Okanagan Valley. We have all kinds of Southern Ontario wine too. See, Canadians can be very sustainable. We don't really need anything from you. Well, maybe your tourism a little bit. You guys seems to be coming here, but I'll tell you, 90% of us aren't going there. In fact, I think we're hearing you crying from over here, from across the border, how we're not coming and shopping anymore. And we're not coming to Disneyland. And we're not coming to see ya. No, because you know what? We're standing up for ourselves and our own sovereignty. So, no, we're not coming to visit the United States. We're not. No. Sorry. No. Not happening. No. So, slap and share and care and do all those fun things. The orange potato is Trump. That's what it is. The orange potato. I'm hoping that he is a friendly. I'm not trying to make anybody unfriendly. But, you know, some discourse would be fun. Oh, here's Piper. Piper will tell you all about it. Right, Potts? Anyways, welcome. Hello. From Mexico. We love Mexico. Hello from Canada. Gracias. We appreciate you coming in. Love having people from Mexico. Well, thanks for the follow, too. Senorita? Or you're a senor? I have a friend actually that moved to Mexico because she was sick of the politics here in Canada. She's loving it down there. Actually, I have an aunt that lives down there too. And another, my husband's cousin lives down there. Not exactly sure where, but welcome. Buenos dias. Bonjour. Hello. I'm in British Columbia, so I'm not bilingual, but we have several different languages. Officials are, Francais and English, but we also, señorita. We also have several different indigenous languages like Cree and Blackfoot and Ojibwa and Mohawk and all kinds of different indigenous languages that we really would like to see recognized. And I'm not indigenous, but I'm a firm ally. I'm married to an indigenous man, and I would love to see that the First Nations languages become official languages in our country. It's nice to see some sportsmanship, yes. But what was going on in the background was Ezra Levant's Rebel News, causing some fracas and making it so there was no scrums done because of security and interference by a bunch of Zionist fucking schmutzes. Anyways, that's what was going on in the background while everybody's looking all nice and live and, thinking it was all, all the while they're shaking the hands. They were stalling because their security was fucking trying to get rid of Rebel News and Ezra Levant and all the bullshit that was going on in the outside of the fucking, in the gallery. Because some idiot decided that they were going to give them journalist status. Like, somebody should take that person and they should lose their job because under no circumstances should you give Rebel News journal status. They're a disgrace. They make journalists look like idiots. Those people that are actual journalists, CBC, CTV, Global, all the press pool, those people are journalists. That is a goddamn fucking farce. Yeah, domestic disturbance is all right. He's a terror. He should be in jail. He runs around, he puts ads on, anti-Gaza stuff, and it's just like, he's despicable. He's the most despicable human. And you know how many times that guy's been sued? I'm surprised he can afford a free lunch. But I guess when you've got grifter in your soul, and you've got idiots in Canada that'll donate to your cause because you're a grifting fool. And it seems like Canadians are that daft sometimes. They followed Tamara Litch around and Chris Barber, and now they're all going to pay for Ezra Levant's legal fees. The guy's loaded. Right? He's a multi-billionaire. Why? Because he's a Zionist. You might as well give the Beaver Network goddamn fucking status then. If you're going to give Rebel News status, then I want my own journalist passed. We are a network. We're Beaver Network. Beaver Network. We want our status. We're more legit and more because I've actually been in media for quite a long time, like 12 years. Doing my own podcasts on other networks. We should have our own press pass then. Where's our media pass? So why don't we get a hold of, election wherever and demand that we get to, get in the press pool too. I'll run around after, well, not Polly. You couldn't pay me to fuck. Glitch, conservative. Can't. No. Glitch, conservative. Because that's what I think. Every time I hear that, no. But I could run around after Carney or, even Jagmeet. But the other one, no. What? We have no issues in elections. Our elections are very secure. Elections Canada is just fine. See, the Conservatives thought the polls were all legit when they were ahead, right? But as soon as they fell behind, the polls were no longer legit. Smartvoting.ca wasn't legit as far as the NDP were concerned either. Because as soon as they were behind, then they weren't real. But as long as they were ahead, it was all good, right? Polls were all on cue as long as PP was ahead. But as soon as he started fucking caving and dumping and tanking, the polls were no longer legit. Same with the NDP with smartvoting.ca. It was all good when they were, ahead. And it was all data showing that they were, strategic voting would be good if you voted for them. But as soon as it started looking that the Liberals were ticking up, and things were going a little, all of a sudden it wasn't real. All of a sudden it was made up data. All of a sudden it wasn't, projections from the ridings. It was all made up. What a pile. Like I said, they were all legit polls and all legit, projections and everything when they were ahead, right? But as soon as they started to tank, do you believe the polls? Do you believe the polls? Ah, I'm an incel. I sit in my mommy's basement and I cry because I'm 35 years old and I don't have a wife. And I don't have a $500 million bank account because I don't even have a high school diploma. Fuck. And that's a fact, Jack. All these fucking conservative schmatzy fucking voters are all under the age of 35 and they're all in their mommy's basement crying because they can't get a job. That they're going to get paid millions of dollars because they have no education. They didn't even go to trade school because they figured they were going to be a gamer. I'm going to be a gamer. I got one. I got a 28-year-old one. And he figured he was going to be all these things. He doesn't even have a high school diploma. But he's going to be a gamer. Meanwhile, he's still sitting in my parents' basement, being all disgruntled at the government. It's fucking pathetic. And that's the age group. The incel age group. I can't get a wife and I don't have a house. I can't afford a house like my parents did. When Polio said that a fucking average house in Canada is worth $400,000, what fucking planet was he coming off of? In his fucking maybe status. For the rest of us, we were fucking hoping we'd get into a house for $250,000 like we did back in 2008. So when he's flopping his safe fucking mouth about an average house being $400,000, maybe in fucking Toronto. But an average cost of a house, even here in my town, is $300,000 for this old dump because the fucking goddamn municipalities weren't getting the money that they needed, so they had to jack up the fucking property taxes, and that meant they had to up the assessment of your fucking house. But hey, what do I know? He is a shame to Canadians. He's a career politician that has done absolutely fucking nothing. Passed a fucking one bill that got fucking taken down because it was fucking a racist bill. The guy's a piece of shit. And anybody who votes for him, did you see that fucking stupid bitch from Medicine Hat? Fucking sitting there, and Paul and Pierre. Like she fucking knows him personally. Have you been bending over for him like the rest of the fucking stupid bitches from Alberta? Because that's what you are. No, why would he change the ministers right now when we're in a fucking crisis with the fucking United States? Once he gets into power, and if he wins this election, maybe then he will change the ministers. But you see, we're in a situation right now we were in an interim government, right? He sat there for a week until he could go over to the EU and get all this shit together and get those guys all lined up to fight the orange potato, who's Trump. But right now, for change, but right now, when we have a crisis, no, you need people like Joly and LeBlanc that are very well versed in all of these portfolios, that have been in the government for the last 4 years, that know the legislations and know what we've done, and they know because they've been there. You don't want to change those ministers until maybe after the election. Now, after the election, things could totally change. Medicine Hat's a fucking shithole. Sorry, Desiree, but that stupid bitch that was on the fucking after the debate tonight, I'm telling you, I might just come out and visit. Because the Angry Pixie's here tonight. And you hear the word conservative, glitch, glitch, glitch. What minister should be in jail? No, they don't. And again, things are going to change drastically. And if you're that brain stuck, because that's what your brain's stuck in hearing the same fucking brainwashing bullshit coming out of Poilievre's mouth. It's just like Justin. He's just like Justin. He's just like Justin. Like I said, you need those ministers like Joly and LeBlanc all in the positions they're in, because as we're having this election, we have things moving forward, and the fucking orange potato has not stopped his 51 state shit. And if you watch Katie Simpson the other night in the press room in the United States, where she asked old what's her fucking nuts there if he had changed his stance. No, he hasn't. He just hasn't said it publicly lately. Who's done? You? The conservatives? Yep, they are. Yep. And the polls they're all correct. You know why? Because when the polls showed your fucking mealy mouth piece of shit fucking leader in the lead, the polls were right then, weren't they? But now because he's losing, because he's tanked, they're not? Get bent, fucker. Get fucking bent. Rockstar's a bot. He's probably paid for. He's a paid boy. He's a paid boy. He's probably one of Ezra Levant's little fucking goofs. That's probably what you are. You're a goof. He didn't dominate anything. He stood there. Glitch. He's a fucking idiot. Good luck, buddy. I'll be here collecting your conservative tears next week. Glitch. Ugh. Every time I hear his voice, ugh, I want to fucking... Ugh. He sounds like a fucking bot. He lies so much he believes himself, but so does his base. All his little incels. His little incels that all sit in their basements playing games because they couldn't get a job because they don't have an education. Because they started setting up... working for a political party when they were 14. Rockstar, you're a bot. I bite. Glitch. Those government checks you cash are coming. What government checks? The ones you get? I don't get a government check. I have a fucking job, dude. What, but you're a bot. We figured out this last week that you're just a fucking paid bot. Rockstar rides a bike. Oh, looks like he's got a fucking bitch bike, too. Oh, he rides a bitch bike. You're a bitch. I'm a nationalist. I believe that we should have one economy, not 13. I think Danielle Smith should be knocked off her fucking throne. She's a fucking goof, too. So yeah, join the chaos. Because I'm radical. Goof. Bitch bike. So you're riding, Rockstar. You ride a bitch bike. Boom! You don't know who I know. Oh, Medicine Hat? Are you from Medicine Hat, too? You're not that far. You have no idea what I think. Or who I know. I'm not in Ontario. Are you? You see, here's the thing there, Rockstar. That would be Doug Ford's fault. Boo-hoo. So again, why we need a national one economy. So maybe we can get everybody straightened out. But, you know. That stupid fucking goof that they had on the National with the dark hair at the end of it. It was like, you're fucking kidding me. And she's sitting there at the table. Pierre. Like she knows him personally. Pierre. I wonder if she's sucking his... Pierre. Oh, I guess that would be Jenny's job. Behind Anna. I wonder if Anna, I wonder if Jenny's in there. Because, that one kid kind of looks more like Jenny than it does like Anna. Wonder if they have a poly thing. Wonder what they're doing. Oh, poly, if there's a poly. Sure, what's the radical news? The radical news is What? In your fucking dreams, bitch. You're a bitch. You ride a bitch bike, Rockstar. Rockstar. How much crack you smoked in there, Rockstar? Because if you think you're a rockstar, you must be smoking some rock. Especially if you live in Medicine Hat. Or you're from Lethbridge. Methbridge. I think so too. That's a really good idea, Simply Cody. I like that idea. It's a good one. I actually agree with that. I think that all these premiers that think that they fucking should be speaking for fucking nothing, they should shut their fucking mouths. Especially Danielle Smith. She should be fucking shut the fuck up. Her and Scott Moe deserve a fucking pew pew sandwich. Yeah, I said it. PP doesn't know how to answer a question because he's been a politician so long and he's been brain fed and brainwashed by Stephen Harper since he was 14 years old. He believes everything he says. He believes that he is the savior of the world. Kind of like a mini teeny Trump. Orange potato. They should have put PP in an orange suit and brushed his hair a little bit forward. And then he would have sounded more like his boss. Because he's really, really good. And he really, really knows that he's going to really, really get some more. Right? Because Poilievre's a goof. Straight up. Yeah, Angry Pixie's here. And if, move along, pass along, go find somewhere else where you might find some peace, because you're not going to find it here today. And that's the fact, Jack. But again, let's get down to it. So we've got an election. Advance polls start tomorrow, or open tomorrow, all across Canada. So get in there and get your advance polls and get voting, because y'all should have gotten one of these. Right? And if not, yeah, of course. Good Friday. Why? Are you a Christian that's worried about, See, I'm an atheist. I don't give a fuck what day it is. I gotta work. All weekend. Everybody's going, Happy Easter. I'm going, yeah, sure, whatever. You believe in the orange spaghetti god in the sky? Have at her. You're probably a conservative then. And yeah, vote. Born again through pot. Well, if you're born again through cannabis, that's probably a good thing. But again, they're all open. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. All 4 days on a Sunday too. You betcha. That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because we need, a strong voice, right? A strong voice. One strong voice. All right, you can come on up. Come on, let's have some. Come on up to The Price is Right. Come on down. The Price is Right tonight. Welcome, Mysterious. For TikTok purposes, please tell me your age.
There.
Yeah.
I'm 67.
Well, welcome on.
And you are mighty feisty. I like that.
I'm very feisty. And I'm also a liberal, so just so you know, all these people think that liberals are all nice. Well, guess what? You met the wrong liberal.
Liberals are nice.
Yeah, they did. Actually, Bremer, they did. They were saying that last night on the news that they found some. It's not definite for sure, but they are finding some evidence of life, chemical trails, chemical genetic something. Yeah, you're right. So, Mysterious, what have you voted? Or are you Canadian? Whereabouts are you?
Canadian in Toronto.
Yeah.
I'm registered. I'm waiting for dawn so I can go vote.
You're waiting for what, Dawn? I'm just going to turn my volume up. I couldn't hear you. You're waiting for what? Sorry?
I'm waiting for dawn so I can go vote at sunup.
Ah. Well, yeah, 9. I think you have to wait till 9 a.m. is when the polls open here tomorrow. And
I'm
what's your
trying.
take
It's
on things?
anyway.
How are you feeling? And like you're in the GTA, so I'm in British Columbia. I'm in a very conservative riding. Whereabouts? What's your riding looking like?
Liberal, but I'm NDP. I got to go smart vote or I got to go home.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because we've been fighting with our NDP here where they're going to split votes. And I'm just happy that you're going to vote. I don't ever want to tell anybody who to vote for. It's not my business nor my place to do so. I'm just happy to hear you're going to vote because I think that that's a really big thing that people have become so apathetic.
I'm obliged to thank you for this time to speak about the election. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, go ahead and it's good to hear other Canadians' perception as well, right? Because we all live in we're all individuals. So we all have different lifestyles. We all have different, paychecks. We all either work or don't work, live on disability or don't.
Earlier, somebody on the panel was mocking Ontario because they had a less than 50% turnout in a provincial vote.
Yeah, and that's disgusting, honestly. Like, I mean, but I mean, again,
It's
people are so
infuriating
empathetic
to
that
live in
their
the
voice
country,
doesn't matter.
in the province, not the country, country's fine. It's infuriating to live in a province where 50% of the people don't think it's worth voting.
Well, I live in a town that only 4,500 people voted out of 20,000
Oh my
for the
God.
last municipal election. So they open at 9 a.m. here too, Julie. But again, because of the fact that they're apathetic, especially in the West out here, because I think that after Ontario and Quebec vote, that they are, by the time the polls close, that the election's already been called. What they don't realize is that if they don't vote, they're never going to get a seat at the table because you're not voting for Carney. You're not voting for Polyev. You're voting for the person that's the best person in your riding to represent what your riding needs, right?
Exactly. The vote is for the person that's local to you. The vote is for the person that you speak to on a daily basis, if you can,
That's
in your
right.
neighborhood. It's not about who's at the head office saying, "Oh, vote for this, vote for that." It's who's down beside you, sitting there saying, "This is going to be right, and that's going to be right."
And I live in where the Columbia Basin water area where Trump tore up that treaty. And it's very important that treaty gets back on the table. And we need somebody with a strong understanding of that to bring that forward because that was something that was on the table before.
Carney, come on, Carney.
Reconciliation is a huge thing too. I think that that's very important for our country to move forward. And
It
again,
is.
to have our energy and anything to be increased for our
Without the
economic stability.
reconciliation, this nation will be nothing. I can say that from my own opinion.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Without the reconciliation, this country will be nothing.
You're right. Thank you for that. Because I think that them being 112th on the priority in Conservatives' declaration and policy and number 3 in ours is a huge difference.
Yeah.
Because they don't, in fact, in the
I
Conservatives'
don't follow the
declaration and policies,
policies of the
they've got
Conservatives,
Indigenous
and
below trans women being taken out of sports.
their rhetoric is enough to know their policies aren't worth listening to.
Yeah, it's well, they had a ruling in a British court yesterday that actually is quite disturbing, to be honest, because what they did over in the British courts yesterday is basically make it so that women are women and what your born gender is what you are. Which it was brought forward by women because these women were feeling like having trans women in their spaces wasn't safe for some reason. So it's going to repolicize everything with policies in the UK now because of this ruling in the British courts.
So that's just overseas, right? It doesn't affect us.
It doesn't affect us.
Okay.
But again, once you see things changing in other countries, like they've done in Alberta already, because they've written their own legislation to take like trans children's rights away. So they put legislation in Alberta now that there's no gender affirming care available to anybody under the age of 16.
Oh my God, I heard something about this on the panel earlier, and there was one person from that lifestyle speaking, and this Beaver Network was the only platform they felt safe to talk.
Well, I'm glad about that because most of us are allies for any marginalized community, right? And that's the thing. Like, I think being Caucasian, white, whatever being from European descent, I think a lot of us aren't taken seriously by marginalized communities because of our privilege, because of our skin color, right? But
I
for
know
me,
that road person.
always been an ally right from the time like one of my best friends had Down syndrome when I first moved to Alberta because I just always was the kid that went and kind of migrated to the underdog. I don't know why, but that's just the way I was, whether I was raised, whatever, right? So for me to see all the horrific and vile things that are going on in our political, field as it is with all the crap that's going on behind the scenes and all the like the rock throwing and the vile comments and all that, it's really disturbing to me when you see them not stand up for marginalized people. That's a big red flag for me.
Yeah, and I
The conservatives
understand.
will never stand up for marginalized people.
I've been following
Conservatives
this.
never.
I've been following this point of view since the early 70s, and I'm only 67, so I'm still learning. I got a lot to learn.
Well, I think because I'm a Gen Xer, so I'm 55. I think that our um, let's put it this way: our children taught us, right? Like when we had kids, because the world was changing for them so quickly, and then so we were learning with them. Because I was raised in a family where my dad's father was a Mason, and my grandmother was a Rebecca, and my mother's parents were humanitarians. And I had a choice in life whether I could pick to be a bigot or I could pick to be a humanitarian. And it wasn't really a choice. It was just I just migrated to be more like my mother's family than my father's, right?
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that, but it really opened my eyes because when I was 16 years old, I was dating a BIPOC man, and my grandfather called him the N word and threw us both out of the house, and it was my house.
Oh my God.
And I
I,
was six.
I haven't been in a
I
situation
was
where
50.
family has been that drastic.
Yeah. So that was the difference between my
I,
like in my
I
family,
married I
right? The way
married a Chinese woman from Hong Kong.
sorry.
I married a Chinese woman from Hong Kong.
Oh, that's awesome. You got some really amazing food, I bet. Hi, Smarsh.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
I'm okay.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
I hope
And
you
you know,
feel empowered.
TikTok purposes, you have to tell me how old you are.
I feel like I'm 21 today.
Okay, we can be 21 too. I'm just gonna, yeah, but yeah. So again, like I said, I'm angry pixies. You know, I'm actually angry pixies, kind of like mellowed out a little bit. But again, with all the the rhetoric with Rebel News and stuff after the debates, the scrums couldn't be done. And again, that whole discourse with the orange potato and not bringing that poor man back to his family and just that crap.
Well,
You
that
know
all
what I
came
mean?
So,
down tonight, didn't it? They found that he was held
so,
in prison but not going home.
Yeah, and they're saying that he's alive, right? But I mean, that's not really enough. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
yeah.
I'm just gonna ask you, Mysterious, when you're not speaking to like mute your mic so we can hear everybody else because it kind of has feedback or something. I'm gonna mute mine too. So, again, Smarsh, what was your take on the debate tonight?
Uh, I don't really know. I don't really know how I feel right now.
I found it kind of underwhelming. Like it was just kind of the same regurgitated shit they've been saying the whole fucking election, right? And I mean, there wasn't really enough of a like there wasn't any like zingers. You know what I mean? Like nobody was really. It doesn't seem like they're fighting with each other. And Polyev almost like looks like he's almost like given up.
I don't know. The fact that Paul Yev said that, um, sell off federal land would just really screw me off. I just wasn't interested anymore after that.
Well,
Because, I'm sorry, sell off what? Federal land? We didn't give our land up. It was taken. Like, the fuck?
well, it's like I was saying to my husband after when he talks about red tape. The red tape is First Nations people, and like I keep banging on, and I'm not going to stop talking about this. Look at their declarations and policies and find out exactly where First Nations sit on that list. It's 112 down after they take trans women out of sports.
Yep. We're 115.
It's just unbelievable.
And
You muted, Smarshy.
What do you mean didn't change anything? One zinger, both Trudeau and carbon taxes gone. You wish I was Trudeau? That doesn't even make sense. Go away,
that's what
Trudeau.
Carney said. He said, "You wish I'm Trudeau."
Oh,
Yeah, that's all he said.
oh, I thought
Uh,
I missed that.
yeah, I know. I don't think everybody sees the real understanding of how dangerous this guy is because everyone's like, "Oh, he did a good job. He took care of Carney." Blah blah. Blah. No, he made an ass of himself.
I think the funniest
That's
thing is they're talking about the shoes. And then all of a sudden he's like I don't know if any of this is true, but the puffy shirts and the lipstick and he just he's underwhelming. I never, like I said, every time I hear the word conservative glitch or I hear his voice, I just want to, that's how I feel like just glitching. And he's like, I look at the TV and there he is. Like I've got the debate because CBC's replaying it over and over 100 times, right? So I've got it on the TV. It's not on volume wise, but I look over the TV and there he is. I just want, I just want to like, I wish I had a bucket because I'd probably be, and that's what I mean. Like I shook the man's hand. It was the most, like, anyway. Desiree, you want to come up and say hi and give us your case?
Yeah. First of all, to that glitching out, somebody in another live said when he's about to lie, he stutters and he blinks a lot.
Well, every time I hear him talk, it's like
he does.
But for me, I can't. The moderator was kind of crap, right? And you could tell he had some bias because he should have been cutting off mics, and that one question that I remember that Carney was trying to answer and PP talked over him, the whole response, and the moderator didn't say shit, but was quick to tell Jagmeet Singh and cut him off, right? Like there was so much that was skewed in this.
Right.
I expected this debate to be better for Carney because he doesn't have to think in English and then translate in French, right?
Right.
And you could tell at one point he was just done with PP, and I'm just glad the debates are over, right? And to me, the liberal leadership debates were moderated so much freaking better. But this guy was from TVO, and Carney said no to TVO. So, and Blanchette, like,
why was he even there?
You knew you weren't going to be running for PM. Why were you even there?
Exactly, that's my question. Like, why was he
should have let
there?
the Greens come in? Like, hello.
Right?
Like,
Yeah,
The best thing I thought about the election debate tonight was the fact that this was the first time that Election Canada was like, no, we're not having rebel news in our midst after
no,
last
but
night.
they caused a bunch of stuff after.
I know.
yeah, we saw the clip.
I know, but it's the fact that they actually got in yesterday, got to see it yesterday, got to see all the shit they caused yesterday, and now they're not allowed in. Thank fucking God. Pardon my French, but you know my sentiments.
This is a explicit. What views and opinions on this show may not reflect the opinions of everybody else on this network. That's why I can be Angry Pixie and say whatever I want.
Pixies don't get angry. I know that.
This one does. This one's got horns.
I'm emotional for the next 5 days. Leave me alone.
I got the horns tonight.
This is not a good week to let me watch the debate.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm on day 5. Usually this is my night off. Like, usually this is my Friday and I get off. I'm working 12, 15 days straight with no break. And I had to deal with like 5-year-olds and people.
Oh.
I was already angry when I got home from work, and then I found out that the store has been listed for sale without anybody telling me. So I'm pretty much
no.
in. So that was my day, and the owners are away after they list the store on realty.ca and say absolutely fucking nothing.
So what's happening then? You're just like losing your.
No, they want to sell me with. the store has an employee, and a good employee, one good loyal employee that works. So you're selling me with the store? No, no, you're not. No, no, you're not. Especially when you don't even have the respect to tell me that you're selling the store. I know it's not their obligation. They don't have to by law tell me anything, right? But after you've worked for somebody for 2.5 or 2 years, and you have a rapport with them, you think, and you're their only employee, the only one, you think they'd say something, right? When I asked about it, I was told by the son that it's a scam, that somebody else has put that up there, that he doesn't know anything about it. So then you lie to me on top of that.
Wow.
So I was already angry when I got home, and I didn't get to see the debate because it was so busy tonight that I really only got to catch clips and glips of it. So I'm trying to get ready for tonight and trying to get I usually watch Rachel Maddow too right before we show, and I couldn't. So I was already mad when I got here.
Well, you handled that mad very well. I've never seen anger so calm.
Last week I was not so calm. Last week I was like, but I was also reading the comments in the comment section down below here. And I had a couple really good
Can
words
I
at me last week, and I lost it. Like I was like,
can I say can I say something to Cole real quickly?
"Where's
Cole
Cole?"
Cole Howard also disappointed that Carney supports the bill that would limit lives like this. So sad. Okay, the bill he's proposing just makes it so that us or the indigenous people have a say in what goes on our land. That's all it is. You'll still get your pipelines. Don't worry, princess. That's not going to be an issue. We just want to be consulted and thought of as human beings and given the credit where the credit is due.
Well, here's the thing with Bill 69, C-69 there, Cole. They've misinterpreted the whole fucking bill, the conservatives. So if you listen to Treaty 6, and she's explained this a number of times on the shows that she runs, and then she comes up on our
Yes.
panel and has explained it 110 fucking times in plain English with a purple fucking crayon for you fucking idiots to fucking understand. Bill C-69 is only there to make sure that First Nations have hand-in-hand partnership with the Canadian government, so that people
That's
can
it.
ram shit through without consultation, because they should be partners with us like this. In fact, they should be one step ahead of us, because this is their land. Remember that fucker, you're on Turtle Island. End off. Go ahead, Charles.
I'm an entity supporter Bill 63 of the Online Harms Act, undecided on the feds. That is a good crime bill. I support that. Cole, I support
So he
harsher
doesn't mind
punishment.
having human trafficking allowed online? Are you one of those kind of creepy people, Cole? Are you an incel, Cole? Are you one of those guys in the basement that are crying because you don't have a house and you don't have a wife that's making you sandwiches?
Cole,
Are you one of them,
the
Cole?
Bill 63 does not pertain to anything other than CP or anything like that, or learning in children. That is what there to protect. It's there also to protect if you say something hateful. Because while you have freedom of expression, you do not have freedom from consequences of what you say. Because what you
Or
say
being
on the internet,
pretendian?
what you say is, is not protected by the internet. Internet's forever, bud, and that can get you into serious trouble. That's why B6 Bill C-63 comes into play. It's not to compress your freedom. It's not to make sure the sentences are you get 20 years in jail if you. The only reason you get 20 years in jail, and I've read it thoroughly, is if you cause imminent harm, where someone loses a life because of what you said. That is it. Okay, but no, that needs to be. No, it is. It needs to be there. It needs to be there.
He's an incel.
Okay, I believe.
Yes, it does. Broad hate speech. Because there's
Okay,
people out there that fucking spew hate speech, Cole. You might not be
okay,
one of them, but there are lots of people out there, and they're usually conservatives. Schmatzy.
okay. I want to say something. C-63 covers hate speech. You have freedom of expression in Canada. You do not have freedom from consequences from what you say. So if you're on the internet and you're harassing people and threatening people, then yes, that pertains to hate speech, which could end up leading someone to unalive themselves. That is what the broad hate speech does. That's all it is. It's not throwing you in jail because you call someone silly or stupid or something. That's not what it is. It's if you cause harm to people or demographic. That's it.
Religious folk. Oh my God. Amanda Todd. Do you ever Google Amanda Todd, Cole? This is the reason why this bill was brought forward, because a 15-year-old or a 14-year-old killed herself because some creep was taking advantage of her and threatening her life. And this happens on a daily basis to children. This law is definitely needed
It's
because of
protecting
freaks.
them.
What's the number?
Here, I'll look it up.
What's the number of the bill?
C-63.
Okay, so I will look it up because I'm getting pissed off with this person. I've had conversations with them before.
Well, you know what? Perception of everything, but here's the thing: the legal jargon makes it so. So no matter how you perceive it, Cole, the legal jargon matters, right? I mean, it means that it's helping and keeping it not. It's not going to take away anybody's religious freedoms or anybody's religious expression, but it'll stop people from actually pretending to be somebody they're not either, and taking money from grants and stuff that they shouldn't have taken, right?
Okay, so Bill 63 is known as the Online Harms Act, aimed to regulate online content in Canada, addressing issues like hate speech, inciting violence, and non-consensual sharing of intimate images. The bill proposes a new regulatory framework for online platforms with the goal of reducing users exposing to harmful content, especially for children. It also establishes Digital Safety Commissions of Canada and Digital Safety Ombudsperson to oversee the implementation of the enforcement.
People like grifters like Tamara Litch and Chris Barber. Shit like that can't happen anymore. You know, hold the line, honk honk. How about that? Is that going to be harmful to you?
Basically, the purpose and goals of this call is protecting children online, combating online hate, holding platforms accountable, freedom. Yeah, such critics argue that the bill will disproportionately affect free speech, and that proposed it won't. You don't have protection from what you say
Let's
if
stop
it
right
causes
now.
harm.
Because if that bill was in legislation when Trudeau resigned and prorogued the government and the government fell, it doesn't fucking matter anymore because it's been scrapped.
Right.
So cool. You're bringing up shit that don't fucking matter. Bye. Because it's been scrapped. All the bills that were in, progress when Trudeau put them through, when the government fell and he resigned, everything that was in legislation no longer matters.
Yep.
A whole new government. It'll be a whole new bunch of new bills, and all the bills that were in progress no longer exist because it's a different government now.
But here's
So
the
your two
thing.
parts to the bill make no fucking difference.
But here's the thing.
Hold on.
Here's the thing, Pixie. Same government, just different
It doesn't
person.
matter.
Remember?
It doesn't matter. It's not the same government, Smarch. It is a new leader with new progression and new outlook.
Okay,
It's not
Pixie.
She was being
Pixie.
sarcastic.
I was being sarcastic. I was just making fun of Cole because he says the same thing, same government, new face. That's all.
It's not the same.
I know it's
Might
not.
happen at you, March. But yeah, again, these idiots don't realize it.
Oh
It's
no,
not
you're
the same.
good. You're good. You're good.
So you can go on and on about the bill, Cole. The bill no longer exists. Get over it. Bye, minion.
Another troll in the comments. But
Whatever. Put on your put on his tinfoil hat again.
I'm gonna drop you,
Okay.
and you all have a good night.
You as well.
It's my bewitching hour.
Nice meeting you. Come back again.
Well, I'm here occasionally.
Occasionally more than me. Thanks for coming up, Des. We appreciate you. Appreciate all your input and all the time that you spend.
Oh
Let's
God.
vote for the same party that put us in the gutter. Yeah, I'm gonna, because we didn't put us in the gutter.
Nope.
Brainwash, brainwash, brainwash. We drank the Kool-Aid. We're an incel. We're sitting in our mommy's basement crying because we can't have a house. Get a job that pays you better then, fucker. Canadian-born teens aren't being hired by Timmy's because Canadian-born teens are too fucking entitled and won't do the work.
Canada's not broken. Oh, I love this.
The
I
boomers
love.
out there, this boomer's acting like a Gen Beta. I'm not a fucking boomer, dude. I'm a fucking Gen Xer. So fuck around and find out, goof. Call me a fucking boomer. Holy fuck. Don't go there. I'm telling you. I can't say what I'm supposed to be able to say because, you know, this bill might make it so that somebody might come and get me.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the tone of your voice because you're all like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah."
I am. This is Angry Pixie. Angry Pixie, and I'm a Gen Xer, and I'm a thug, right? So this
I'm a
is thug
thug.
life. And people don't get that. Like I like say, it seems so nice. I am really nice. I've changed my life.
Well,
20
Angry
years ago, I was a thug.
You are a breath of fresh air, I'll tell you that.
My daughter's teenage boyfriend works at Timmy. Don't mess with. Yeah, that's right. Don't mess with us Gen Xers, especially us Gen Xers that were thugs. Even Mrs. Radical goes like, sometimes I don't even know how to take you because like I'm so little. Because I'm 4'9", right? Like I'm the size of a
Oh,
I weigh 80 pounds and I'm
you're
4'9".
little.
I'm very little, but fuck
Um,
around and find out.
okay, but here's the thing. Canadian cells. Lunge, if you're so unhappy on my land, you can give back my land, the plot where you have your house,
Or
and
for
you
us
can
Canadian.
leave.
Oh, you're a Canadian incel. Yeah, you are. You're a Canadian incel. You didn't graduate from fucking high school. You've been sitting in your mama's basement trying to be a gamer your whole life. Get
No,
a
no,
fucking
no, no,
job.
no, no,
Get a
no, no.
haircut and get a real job.
No, Lunge, you can give me back my land and go back to the US if that's where you please to be, because we don't need to be keeping up with anybody, my dude. You're on my lands, my plot of lands. Please mess me with that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
just a guest
exactly.
here.
That's hard.
That's
We are
all.
hard
I'm
working.
just a guest.
But here's the thing with us Gen Xers, right? Everywhere's her land. You're living on Turtle Island there, fucker. Are you First Nations? No? You're a guest here. Just so you know. And us Gen Xers are hardworking because we're feral. We had to raise our fucking selves. I used to eat fucking corn out of a fucking can. Mushrooms, sneak up the stairs because, you know, we had to find foods from somewhere. Mom and dad worked all day. We got locked out of the house. You know, we drank, you know, water out of the garden hose. So we actually know what it's like to fucking have to survive when we're 10 on the street. What's there? I was born here. So, what's your fucking point? I
So
was
was
born
I.
here too. But so what? You're still not First Nations. So that still makes you a fucking guest here, fucker. Colonizer. Glitch. Conservative. I'm not Optimus Prime. Optimus fucking loser. US set the dollar standards, and that's why we went and bought a bunch of their stuff, and then we sold it. Just like that, Glitch. Because Carney's smart. So he went over to the EU and he bought up a bunch of American bonds, and so did the EU, and so did Italy, and so did France. And then when he started fucking around with the fucking with the stock market, they all dumped him just like that. Poof!
Um, 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 Optimus Prime. Hmm.
Yeah, birthright is not the same. You were born here. I was born here. I'm a third generation Canadian, but you know what? My great grandparents were fucking colonizers, and they came here unfucking welcomed.
I'm a third generation Canadian, but I'm also Indigenous
Yeah.
because my great grandmother was Indigenous, and you know what? She was born in Montana. So she's still Canadian as much as I am because her parents were born in Canada, believe it or not.
Well, before, you know, the US, before 1812, to be fair, a lot of indigenous people, folk, were forced out of the United States. And a lot of those Montana and Idaho, you know, bands all kind of pushed across up here. And that's why
Yeah.
there's no borders, right? So that if you're indigenous First Nations and you belong to, you know, like Blood
Mhm.
Tribe, Pekani, there ain't no border. You can go across without any problems. You don't need a passport. You don't need anything. You just go. And that's the way it should be.
Or what?
First Nations, yeah. If you have status, you can, but you have to have full status, I believe. Seventh generation, I'm not ever claiming Indigenous blood rights. No, why not? Are you Indigenous, Mysterious, or are you just like I'm not? My family came from Scotland. We've got the paperwork showing that my great grandparents came over from Scotland in 1849. My
I'm
mom,
a WASP, a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, a WASP,
sorry, me.
a WASP, a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what they call a wasp. Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't sting. I just float around.
Yeah.
Using the word
Uh,
colonize like it's an insult. It isn't. It's not. You should be
okay.
insulted.
But here's the thing. Every First Nation person I've met accepts me as a Canadian. Yeah. You know why? Because we have humility. We have humanity. We have kindness. We have peace. We have love for those, even though those people keep doing us wrong. Stop tokenizing them, please.
Louder, Sponge. What's the flex? There's no flex, fucker. What's yours?
It's no flex, my dude. I'm just saying this is my land. Like, I have ancestral ties to this land. My family fought in the 1885 Red River Rebellion resistance. Louis Riel and my family fought
Here's the
for
thing,
the
Marge.
Métis
Just give
right.
me a second. Just give me 1 second here. Here's the thing.
Oh my God.
We have to live all on this chunk of land together, right? No matter what. And what you have to understand that reconciliation means that we have to work in a partnership with understanding their needs first. Quit being so fucking entitled and fucking racist, you piece of shit. Go ahead, Smarsh.
Who was that?
Yeah, I am Canadian, I am Métis, and my mom
We're
is the
telling
one.
you that you belong here, Optimus, if you have enough fucking respect to fucking understand that you are a fucking guest here.
We want to live on the land that we helped build this country for. If it wasn't for us, Indigenous people, you would not have Canada today. If we would have built a wall like we were told to, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No, that is okay. So I'll call you a European descendant. How about that?
That's
How about
fine by
that?
me. That's fine by me.
At lunch, how about I call you a European descendant? How about that? Or European Canadian?
What makes zero sense? You're a guest here. You were born here. You're a Canadian. Yes, you're a Canadian, right?
I'm not
Not
disgracing your
First
humanity.
Nations. And they're not
Okay,
coming to take your land. Here's the thing with land back. They're not going to come and take your fucking property from you. They
I don't.
expect respect for the land and the stewardness. They are looking out for your water, your culture, your air. You don't understand it? Maybe you should go and learn it. Open a fucking book.
Okay, yeah, I'm not a guest
Yeah, I'm
though.
a guest here too. You bet I am. But I fucking respect it.
The traditional way of land back means that we, as people, get our land give our stewardship back to our people, which means, okay, Optimus Prime, I'm going to say this one last time. All we're asking for is to be the stewardship of the land. That's it. That just means we want to help it flourish, to stop the climate change that's going on, to stop things
We
and
also have to
reverse it going back
understand
to normal.
that with the treaties that are written, everything 6 inches below the plow is,
Sweetheart, sweetheart, they don't know what 6 inches is, honey. They don't.
well, they're
They think
retarded.
they can, yeah, they really
Okay,
don't.
we're just this is 6 inches, okay? Anything below that, mineral wise, water, resources, is indigenous. All that money goes into a trust that any surplus you fuckers get, you live off of. So you should just actually maybe go take a course from the University of Alberta. It's a 12-week course on indigenous studies.
I did it in
It's
6.
free. It's free. Optimus,
I
go
did it
take
in
it.
6. I did the 12-week course in 6.
I did it in 4. It doesn't matter. But it's a 12-week course if you're that, want to take 12 weeks and, not actually sit down and do it. It's free. So maybe you
Okay,
should do that.
but what I'm saying of Optimus Prime is we don't want your house. We don't want to own your property. We don't want anything of yours but your cooperation.
They don't want to be
That's
educated.
it.
That's the problem. They want to live in willful ignorance. They want to live in willful bigotry.
Well,
Schmutzler.
you know what? I'm done. I'm done educating people.
You should be, Smarsh, because it's the same conversation that we have every fucking live.
Yep.
Every time.
And
We
it's
have to
not like I tried to bring it up.
I'm gonna get out my purple crayon again. See this purple crayon? We've had this conversation 120,000 times. I can make whatever assumption I want because you're not making yourself clear, and all I'm hearing is a bunch of bullshit coming from both of you. So if you
Yes,
have
I
something to
believe.
say, Optimus Prime, jump in the fucking box.
Yes, I am on the treaty territory of. I'm on treaty territory. I'm on territory. No, fuck. How do I? I'm on
You're
treaty seven
in
and four.
territory 7.
I'm on treaty seven and treaty four land of the indigenous people. That's where I am. And yes, I lay tobacco on the land every day of every morning to give thanks to Creator. So yes, I do know it. No one's
Anger.
triggered. No one's angry
Nobody's
to
got
that.
anger issues.
I
We're
am
sick and tired of you.
tired. I am tired.
It's okay. The purple crayon, it wouldn't matter because you still wouldn't understand.
They probably want to eat it. I'm not a boomer though. I'm not.
We're
I'm
not.
literally not a
You
boomer.
guys are. You know what? The funny thing is these are probably bot smarts. We should just ignore them. Just ignore them. In fact, maybe we'll just mute them. We'll mute them and have something else to say because we're tired of talking about the same shit all the time and getting back to the same shit all the time. Not that it's shit, but it's shit because you're trying to explain it to shitty people, and they don't deserve your air. They don't deserve your time, and they don't deserve the explanation because they don't care anyway. They're going to take whatever you say and twist it and turn it and make it so that it's not what you actually are telling them because they don't understand critical thinking and they don't understand
They just don't understand. They just don't want to.
They don't want
It's
to.
not even that. It's arrogance and it's ignorance and it's white privilege at its finest.
Willful ignorance and white privilege. You said it. It's right there. And they will never understand. And those are the people that would load us onto trains and fuck their own neighbors because they don't care. They're the selfish conservatives of our country that don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm done educating people. Please just don't show up in my DMs asking me stupid questions about it. It
I
doesn't
don't care.
matter. It's willful ignorance then.
I don't care if you're not white or if you're a liberal voter. You're willfully fucking ignorant if you're talking to Smarsh without asking, or respecting that she's First Nations and she's trying to explain to somebody what land back means, and everybody's just like, blah, blah.
The literal definition of land back is simple.
I said, if you got something to say, Optimus Prime, jump in the fucking box. It's an open invitation. If you got the fucking balls. I'm waiting. Oh, so you got no balls then. Gotcha. You're with people, but you're on your phone watching a live. That's me. Pixie Lee 55 is me. You got a problem with that, fucker?
Yeah, I do.
I'm disrespectful. Oh my, I'm so disrespectful. My show. I can be as disrespectful to who? I don't know you. And you won't come up in the box and show your fucking face. I can be whatever I want to be. My space. So,
Oh my
coming
god.
on up? Or are you going to be too busy sitting on your phone with people? Another incel sitting in his mama's basement crying that he doesn't have a house and a wife making him sandwiches.
If I make a sandwich, you may not come out alive, motherfucker. Just saying.
We ain't them girls that are going to be pregnant.
No, No. I didn't say that. I
I'm not
just
gonna
said
have
it
my
might
daughter
be
being
too
barefoot
good.
and pregnant either, because I'll slap the shit right out of you. Saying, this is sad.
I like
No,
chocolate covered peanuts.
you're
That's so
sad.
good.
Because you won't come in the box and say anything. You just want to sit there and spew crap. So leave. Bye. Nobody's invited you here. There's the door. Don't let it stop you on the way out. In fact, I could just remove you. Then I wouldn't have to worry about it. But I'll let you sit there and stew a little more. Keep on spinning. Here's a little, violin. Can you see it? I'm not spewing any insults at all. And guess what? It's my show. I can do what I want. They're trying to educate you. But apparently that was, willfully not available for your glitching brain either.
And Optimus Prime, you're not the only person in this live, so don't assume that I was saying you were white. I said white privilege and arrogance is why people don't want to listen to me. And because I'm a woman.
And that's it more than anything. Doesn't matter what color you are. If you're a
Nope.
woman.
I have a uterus. All they need to know is that I'm a woman. And they don't like listening, so.
You're right. You're wasting your breath arguing with a fool. You're right, Gloria. Rent and rape, free rent in your head, right?
I love Gloria.
Like, I got some free rent in your head. La 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 la.
I'm literally eating chocolate, my dude.
No, he's saying I'm destroying my lungs. I quit smoking. So I can do what I want. I'm over the age of 50. I can do what I want.
You're not my supervisor.
Last time I looked, they weren't my dad. My dad didn't listen to him either. And never did. So can't imagine starting to listen to any man now. And I did that for a while. It didn't get me anywhere. But, a few bruises and broken arm and, this 14-inch scar on my forehead. That's what that got me. Listening to a man. See, I didn't listen very well. I don't know. But yeah, underwhelming. But, I gotta be... I'm just waiting for this to be over.
Mm-hmm.
Get out to the barn, you betcha. I like them cows too. We used to take care of 200 head. Loved it. It was the best time of my life. I've already voted.
I'm voting a cardboard
I already
box.
voted, and I'll tell you. I'll show you. You really want a twist? Here, I'll give you a real twist. This is how I'm voting. Wah, 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 wah. Along with this. What does it say? Oh. Stuff! Green Party doesn't even have a seat. But I love Elizabeth May, actually. And if they actually had a decent party and some decent policies, I might vote for them. But they don't. And when I was working towards getting legislation to legalize MJ, the Green Party wasn't on board either. Good for you. Strategic voting, right? Because we have to get rid of the conservative. And that's what we're working on in our writing too, because it's been a conservative for the last 6 years that has absolutely done shit here. Nothing.
Well,
Pipeline.
That's not surprising.
We always say that pipeline drama is unfolding. When did we start talking pipeline? I've been talking about fucking pipelines. This stupid AI generated pipeline drama unfolding. I wasn't talking pipelines, but let's talk pipeline. Let's talk TMX that are, your tax dollars paid for, but the liberals don't like pipelines. Wow. They have been not in power for a long time because we took them out in 2015 for a fucking reason.
we
And
might
if
as
you
well
go
keep
to
them
the
out.
IDU, you'll understand why we took them out in 2015 and we never want them back again. Because they're a bunch of fucking bigots, and Christian Reform Alliance, they're not even conservatives anymore. But you're probably too young to remember that. You have to be over the age of 30 to actually understand that. And you're probably 12. In fact, I'm not even sure why you're on here. Harper was a fucking fool. And he cost us a lot of money. And he fucked over the veterans, and he fucked over the seniors, and he fucked over the cannabis patients, and he fucked over Canada. And he sold us to China for 35 fucking years there, bud. So maybe you should go and open a book.
31.
It was 35, not 31. We got
Oh.
31. It was 35 years he signed us over for China. And he also sold the wheat board to the Saudis. No, he didn't. He invested in Canada. So the doubling of the debt was because of a pandemic that a 43-year-old man had to fucking deal with. Would you be able to handle it there, bud? How about that? And a bunch of fucking losers that decided they were going to go and try and take over the government and occupy Ottawa. How about that? And how about, the foreign aid and all the fucking shit going on in the Ukraine? Could you have handled all that? Could you have? And here's another little fucking tidbit for you, fucker. The $800 billion one-time payment to the veterans and the other $800 billion one-time payment to the fucking First Nations is in the last budget. Fucker.
Yeah. And our neighbors didn't do it. Yeah, they did worse than us. They lost over 1 million people. We lost just under 700,000 people.
I'm not a politician, bucko. No, because you wouldn't be able to have the fucking chops to do it. Go do it. I fucking dare ya. It's a fucking hard job. But you don't have the chops, or the fucking nards, or the balls, or the education, or you'd fucking be doing it instead of sitting on a TikTok live pretending that you fucking know something because you don't. I've got a political degree in political science from the University of Lethbridge. So, you want to fucking talk politics, fuckface? Let's go.
And I have lived experience.
I've learned politics tonight.
Buddy said you lost, U.S. lost, you said Canada. No, we didn't. We haven't lost anything.
No. During COVID, he was talking about COVID. Didn't do as bad as us during COVID. I was talking about Trump lost them over 1 million people. We lost just under 700,000 people to COVID.
The U.S. lost 800 million people to COVID.
800 million. 800. No, it was
800
less.
million to COVID. The U.S.
800,000 maybe.
No,
800.
800.
The
Oh, no, yeah, 800,000.
the
Sorry.
population there is 300 million. How could they lose 800
Yeah, I
million?
know, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, but they lost triple what we did.
300,000. That's really an unprecedented amount of loss.
Sorry, my bad. I'm trying to remember numbers.
It's fucking also midnight and I worked all fucking night. So I'm sorry if my brain's glitching because I'm tired and I'm a boomer. Exactly. We're also the first G7 country to legalize MJ, which also put almost $15 billion in our coffers. How about that for you, fucker? You're welcome. Because I actually helped write those policies, threw them on the floor and got them into the Liberal policies back in 2014, which has brought $57 million to my fucking town.
Okay, lunch. My numbers got mixed up. I'm sorry. I made a mistake on the numbers. I had to be corrected. See,
I can't even go and see how many, oh, he's got 0 followers. He's following no one and he's got 1 follower. Don't even talk to him. He's a bot. Don't even pay attention to him, Smarsh. He's a bot. He's got 0 followers and he's following 1 person. It's a no one. It's a bot. So that's what you were dealing with, a bot. So he's not even worth botting with. See, look at, he comes up with all kinds of stupidity because it's a bot. It's a paid boy, paid for by Polyev and his robocalls.
You know what's really funny? How am I a boomer when I was born in 83?
Yeah, right. You're a chat GTP because you got 0 friends and 1 follower. Fuck off. In fact, we're going to do one better for you. We're just going to go like this. Bye. I'm not wasting my time on bots. Actually, it was funny because Mrs. Radical finally told me you're getting yourself all worked up because you're arguing with a bot. Because even that rock star, you just have to look at them and go, you got 1 friend and you got no followers. You're not even a person. So I'm just doing it. I got my purple crayon out tonight because that's what I feel like doing. Poking people with a purple crayon. Because they're just
Not the purple crayon.
Well, it's not the crayon, it's my Mr. Sketch Purple. I think this one smells. Oh, it does.
Grape.
Yep. This is from Taven's stuff from kindergarten, like grade, like elementary school, because you know when the kids go to school, you have to buy all this every year, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got a bucket of every year's stuff left over for the last 6 years.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Oh. Remember when you were a kid, you'd smell the
Mm-hmm.
the end of the Sharpie. Oh yeah.
Jagmeet did okay. I don't know who won the debate, really.
I don't think anybody did. Like I said, it was pretty underwhelming for me. I didn't
Mhm.
think there was much. I think that the fact that Rebel News and all the crap that went on before and after really put a damper onto the whole vibe. You know what I mean? And I think that kind of really put everybody kind of into a funk because you can hear all the arguing and the crap that's going on and the shit going on outside, and then you got the protests and stuff going on outside too, because there was protests and stuff going on outside and the police were outside, and I think it really became like more of a downer than anything for everybody, to be fair, right? That's just my kind of take on it, because in reality, like, there's been like, I just think it was just so much going on around them that really put a bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a big election too, right?
Well, it's
No, Caesar. She's not calling. Dude, they're not calling me a bud, a bot. I'm a human being. I'm actually a real human being. I'm really offended that you think she's calling me a bot.
who's calling who about?
They're saying you're calling me a bot. I'm like, I got 4,000 followers, dude.
That's where you're sitting up here because you're a bot. You're a chat GTP. You're a chat GPT, Smarsh.
Yeah, apparently.
We programmed you. We programmed you to say the same things over and over again. We just have to bring you up.
Oh my god.
And all anybody has to do is push empower Smarsh, and she just goes off.
I don't even
Yeah.
do it as a bot. I'm an AI.
I'm an AI, apparently.
That's so funny.
Apparently, I'm a bot. Cool. How much am
Apparently,
I
I'm a
getting
bot.
paid for this?
I'm a bot. Nee. Glitch.
I got 4,490 followers and 4,673 followers.
You got more
But I'm
followers
a
than me.
bot. Yeah,
You got more
I'm such.
followers.
I got one follower. I'm a
I lost
bot.
my account that had 25,000 on it, so.
Oh no. Yeah, Rebel News happened. Yeah, Nick, it really did, and it went sideways.
She bots her lives. Yeah, I'm a bot. Glitch. Here's a purple crayon for you, too. She bots her lives. I'm a bot. Oh. What was that one? Oh, yeah. Those bots from The Spy Who Swagged Me. You know, the ones that had the exploding.
I'm not a bot anymore.
Can't
Can't tell me I'm a fucking.
Yeah, she's a bot, and I got exploding. I need another. I don't have it. Oh, I got a purple crayon. So we got a crayon and a felt pen.
Yeah,
I got 2 purple crayons. Okay, we can use those.
Hey, Empowerment, I love your backlight.
So we got 2 purple crayons for you, and one goes in each eye.
I'm a bot.
They want stunts. We want stunts. We like stunts. We're shenanigans. That's your AI. That's the best one yet. We like Schmarshy.
Hold on, I got.
We're not supposed to talk about anything. We're supposed to just sit here and let them insult us. Fucking schmatsies want to fucking insult us and come in here and call us all kinds of names. And we're supposed to
Dog
just take.
Smarky. Thanks for turning green. I love it.
She's green. But again, like I said, we're just supposed to sit here and take your insults, and we're not supposed to have an opinion, and we're just supposed to, be coming and, just put up with your crap, right? We're just supposed to take that, right? La famille imbécile sont libres. Oh, so now you're going to speak some parlez-vous français and figure that we don't understand what you're saying? Keep
The
calling us
famous,
idiots.
the famous imbecility of the poor small
Yeah, because he's
programmable
like basically calling us idiots. We're imbeciles, idiots.
without gray matter.
Yeah,
Okay.
boomers. Fuck off, buddy. That's what I'm going to tell you. I'm not a boomer. I'm a Gen Xer, and you fuck with a Gen Xer, you'll find out. So, no, I'm sorry, I'm not a boomer. And he's not flirting with anybody. I'm married, and Schmarsh is married too. So we don't really give a fuck. And I think he said he was married too. So, like, we're just like, hanging out, and we're not boomers. I was born in 1970. That
And
makes
I'm
me
sick.
a
Leave me
Gen
alone.
Xer. A theory is a charter thing, but their passes were taken away, so it's still a PR. What? Oh, fuck off. Our passes were taken away. You wouldn't know what a charter was. A charter was probably made before you were.
Yeah, the charter was made in 1985. Or
Yeah.
revamped in 1985.
So he probably wasn't even born yet.
Well, bud, Gen Xer, you're so tough. Dude,
He's a Gen Xer.
well, bud, like, it's one thing to, like, have fun and poke fun at people's age, but you don't have to be a numpty, but you don't have to be a
It's
mean
okay
about
because
it.
they keep going on and insulting.
No,
Again,
it's not. No, it's
that's
not.
a
It's not
conservative
okay,
thing.
though.
It
I know
is.
it's. I know.
Let them, because you know what? It shows that they've got absolutely no character. So keep throwing out insults and keep and just ignore them, because it shows that they got zero character, right? Because it makes them feel better to make other whatever, try and tear somebody else down. It shows they've got zero character, and that they probably don't have any friends, and that's why they have no friends, and that's why they're sitting on TikTok right now in a live insulting us.
I'm just talking about eating fucking chocolate. Like,
Your tolerance is amazing, ma'am.
what?
Chocolate? I got chocolate. I got all kinds of chocolate. These are the best ones yet. Have you tried these? There's a new Arrow Scoops. Oh my god, they're so good. Here's
Oh, I
another
love
one
those.
that's really good. Here's another one that's really good.
Those ones, I don't really like them.
Oh, I love them. These remind me like the Black Forest ones. Oh, I love those ones. Oh, and here's some more. Oh, some more chocolate.
What did you say, mystery about
Does anybody
my...
on the panel? Yeah, I absolutely fucking do. Actually, I'm living in the house that my grandfather bought in 1951. If it's any of your fucking business, and yes, I'm paying for it because it had a chip mortgage on it, and I had to buy it back. And I
Well,
paid
I own land.
$70 a month for fucking property tax. You stupid fucking goof. Do you own a property?
Does it make it my property if it's my country and my land that our people are living on? And yeah, I own a lot of country, a lot of property.
I do not live on easy mode. I pay a mortgage. I have a 15-year-old son. I have a husband that works. And we have bills. My property tax is $270 a month. My mortgage is $1,300 a month. My hydro and my gas are $1,000 a month. No, it wasn't free. Did you fucking hear me? Or I didn't stutter. A chip mortgage. You know, when your family takes a chip mortgage and they fuck the fucking generation after, because then they lose the house or they have to buy it back.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't free, fucker. It cost me a lot of money. Never mind, now it needs a new fucking roof. And the power upgraded too. So get bent. My wages are great. I make $25 an hour working at a convenience store. Maybe you should get a better job. My husband makes $60 an hour working in the oil patch. We're fine. Thanks. Get a better job. Get some education. That might help you. That is my property. I own it. Dual income, 6 kids. What's your point? An average Canadian family. I will. I've already paid off half of it. I only got 10 years left.
Well,
Out of
not
20.
bad. That's not bad. Still pretty good.
It still owes $70,000 on it. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, my 15-year-old does live with me. My oldest one's 32, 31, 28, and my 15-year-old. So yeah, I do have one that lives with me. What's your fucking point? Again, why am I explaining it to you? It's none of your business. You're just sad and mad because you don't have somebody like me that actually would actually make your life better because you're an incel piece of shit that can't fucking even hold down a job and can't afford a house. You know what? You probably never will be able to because guess what? Home ownership is a facade of bullshit. You're house poor. You have to pay for all these things and taxes and every fucking thing else. So owning a house isn't all it's fucking cracked up to be. You're crying about not having a fucking house? Then get a better job, go get a better education, and save your money and get a down payment to get one. In fact, the first house we bought was a 0 down mortgage back in 2008. So this is the second home I've actually owned. Fuckface. No, he has money that he's saving now. He's 16 and he works. So if you were smart, you would have started saving money when you got your first job and started tucking money away for your education. But you were so privileged that you figured that your parents or somebody was going to fucking hand it to you. Well, nobody handed me anything either. I bought my first vehicle when I was 18 years old. And I got a loan from the TD Bank. I went to hairdressing school when I was 16 because I graduated from high school at 16. And I went to hair school. Yeah, I did. And then I went and got some jobs. And they, because hairdressing wasn't really that, all it was cracked up to be. And then I went back to university and got a degree. Yeah, and a student loan. And I came out with $120,000 in debt that I've paid off too. My husband now has 2 kids that we paid $250,000 for child support. For 2 of them, that's $500,000. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bought my first vehicle in 1988. And I was 18. Because I was born in 1970. Fuckface. That's not boomer, that's Gen Xer. And if you know math, you'd know how old I was. Don't follow us. We don't care. Anger issues. That's why they call me Angry Pixie, fucker. That's why they're here. So if you don't like it, move along. Because that's why it's called Angry Pixie. Because I am angry. A lot. And people like you make me this way. Just Really? Could they? Anybody could buy a car at that time?
Oh my God, Richie, stop writing in French. Okay, you're a legal person who thinks who wins your
They
house,
think,
not
they think
you.
I'm special because I own a house. Pétoire!
Hello.
Comme quoi? Parlez-vous français? Tabarnak! Fuck off!
It's a guy.
No, they couldn't. In the 1980s, they could not. That's where you got the facade of bullshit because you weren't alive. In the 80s, interest rates went up to 13%, and everybody lost their jobs. My parents lost a house back in 1983 because, interest rates went up to 13% for their mortgages, and my dad lost his job. My mom was the only one working as a civil servant for the federal government, no less. Yeah. So you have no idea what it's like in the 80s because you weren't there. What? Oh, the cap letters person that representing who own the house. What? Yeah, exactly, Jerry. My parents paid I think it was $85,000 for the house in Lethbridge when they bought it in 1981. Right, $85,000 for a house in 1981, but they couldn't keep it because the interest rates jumped, and I think the mortgage payments went up to $1,500 fucking dollars a month. And mom's wages did not match a $1,500 a month mortgage. And they had cars that were paid for because nobody bought, you know what I mean? So it wasn't that there was a bunch of car payments, but when you have a $1,300 a month mortgage and you're only bringing in $1,000 and you've got 2 teenage kids and a husband on one income, yeah. So again, if you weren't there in the 80s and you didn't live through it, You probably don't understand it. But hey, you all you fucking Gen Zs or Gen Millenniums or whatever the fuck you are think you know so much, right? You don't even have any life skills, never mind a fucking brain. A pea brain. Right? Because you don't have a fucking clue what hardship really fucking is.
I do.
Why do you think on all your ID cards are written what? I don't even care. No, I didn't have it on in easy mode in the 80s. You had no fucking idea.
You know
You have
what's really
no
fucked
idea.
up? And this, you think I had it easy in the 80s? I wasn't considered a citizen of this country until I was 2.
A better education? Do you have a university degree? Caesar? What's your university degree?
But that's okay. I don't think that.
Check the income to your house price ratio. I make lots of money. I'm not worried about it. Are you? Then get a better job. Political science from the University of Lethbridge. And then I went on to the McGill University to start my first year of law. And then I ran out of student loan contributions. So, yeah, first year law too. And a political science degree. How's that grab you? Anything else you'd like to know? Would you like to know my address, my phone number, my bra size? Exactly. Nothing was easy in the 80s. Fuck.
Oh my god.
I didn't complete it. But I
I
did
just
complete the BA in political science from the University of Lethbridge. So I hold a BA. I didn't get my doctorate. Because then I got, I was actually a single mom going back to school at that point in time. So I actually was raising 3 kids and going to university full time too.
You know what's really funny?
Yeah, it was a
Really,
good
really
time.
funny? I just got an email saying my account's been deleted. And I'm like, wait a minute. I have 2 accounts on Temu.
Oh, are you shopping on Temu?
I was. And it's like, oh, a week ago I
Yeah.
canceled my one account because it wouldn't let me switch any of my information over. So I had to delete that one, and I was like, what the fuck? Why is my account? I thought it was
We
my.
didn't have it fucking easy, Caesar. Our parents worked. We were fucking on our own all the time. You have fucking no idea. So shut your fucking mouth, you fucking goof.
Okay, Caesar, I did not have it easy at all.
Oh, we were
First
so happy.
off,
It was so easy in the 80s. See, we didn't have anything called social media. Google, we actually had to look things up in a fucking
a
thing called
book.
an encyclopedia.
Yeah,
Right?
and that was not
We
online
actually didn't have
either.
social media at all. None.
And you
Right?
had to make
You,
sure that you had the right one. Because if
no,
you
we did
didn't,
not
you
have
were
it easier.
screwed.
On average, statistically. No, we didn't. No, we absolutely didn't. You know how much minimum wage was back then, fucker? $2 an hour. Right? And
Well,
rents were
that
still
was
$400 and
fucking.
$500 a month. So you try fucking living on $800 a month when your rent was $500. So it was the same fucking thing. Rents were fucking high, wages were fucking low, and interest rates were through the roof, and inflation was fucking out of fucking control. A pair of jeans in the 80s were $100 fucking dollars too, fuckface. So don't sit here and tell me because you weren't there what it was like. Because you have no idea. Right? $1.45 an hour. An ageist. Oh, fuck, who cares, Julie? Let him do whatever he fucking figures he should if it makes him feel better. Because you know what? That's showing no character at all. Zero, zip. None. It shows that he's a fucking bot. Paid bot. Yeah, I was 14 when I started my first job too. I think it was $2 an hour back then.
Actually, my dad hired me for his company when I was probably. It wasn't really a job back then, though. It was kind of like a weekend, like hang out with dad, kind of just get spoiled rotten. But I got.
Yeah, somebody with no followers and no friends. Probably like you. And I'll probably mute you too because you got what? 2 followers? Yeah, 21 followers and 29 following. Yeah, you're a fucking loser too. You gotta go.
I got paid
Bye, fuckface.
at 8 years old. I got paid about $100 a month, depending on how much work
When
I
I was
did.
in
But it was
hairdressing
my
school,
dad.
when I was in hairdressing school in 1986, my mother would give me the baby bonus, right? And that was back then in 1986, $40 a month. Okay, and that's what the parents would get per kid in the 80s for their kids, $40 a month. My mom would give me $40 a month because I was going to hairdressing school because I couldn't go get it. I couldn't work. Well, I worked on the weekends, but kind of. But it was country style donuts, so sometimes I get hours, and sometimes I wouldn't. Right. Anyways, to be fair, and yeah, I have to live on $40 a month. So mom would give me that $40, and I of course was smoking back then too. So that $40 a month would have to get me through the whole month for cigarettes, my lunches, everything. It didn't go very far. It really didn't.
No.
Not at all. Okay, we got a couple more people that want to try and come up, so I guess we'll maybe not. Maybe they're gone now. I'll try fishing. Fishing end. All right.
Hey, liberal.
No. You decided to decline it, I guess. Whatever. No nards. Well, it's getting to be 20 to 1. And I've been on it 2 hours. I think I'm going to wrap it up because I got to work tomorrow. I'm doing this, 15 days straight. That's okay, fishing with Andrew. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up because I've got to work tomorrow and it's already like 1:01. If I didn't have to work, like I said, usually it's my day off, but I'm working at 15 days straight, so.
No, you're good.
Alrighty, well, thanks for coming in, everybody, and I'll be back next Thursday, and I'm always on my own page, which is Pixie Lee 55. So you can always come around and follow me there, or you can, follow Beaver Network, because this is the Beaver Network. It's nice meeting you.
Beaver Network all the way.
This is Beaver Network, so we're wrapping up tonight. Thanks for joining us. And like I said, if you want to follow me, it's Pixie Lee 55 on my own page. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hi, Misters. Thanks for joining us.